Yeah. Yes, sir. We did it. You know what I'm saying? New Jersey basketball, college basketball, two top 10 wins in one day. You know what I'm saying? Seton Hall beat seventh ranked Texas, and Rutgers beat number one ranked in the country, Purdue. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just Bryce Aiken and Ron Harper are built different. I mean, it's just that simple. It's actually kind of very simple. You know, Bryce Aiken transferred from Harvard. You know, wasn't getting a lot of playing time last year. Wasn't getting a ton of playing time this year, but he stepped up in this game, especially in the clutch. I mean, the dagger three that he hit. I mean, that was his first three of the game. You know what I'm saying? It was cold all game, but you know, big time plays make big time plays. So you know, game on line. You know, had to have that dance. You know what I'm saying? Up one, step back, bucket, easy, simple. And that game was probably the better of the two games because that was a really good game, and like not just in terms of like the competitiveness of it, but like it was a lot of great basketball being played, a lot of high IQ shot selections on both sides, a lot of mid ranges. There was a lot of good mid range shooters on the court. Obviously, Texas and Seton Hall both shot poorly from three because Texas hit 1 3, 1 for 13, and Seton Hall 5 for 21. But they weren't forced bad shots. There were a lot of good shots, good looks, open looks that didn't go down. And Seton Hall obviously won this game. You know what I'm saying, in a closing stretch. It was a really close game throughout, really back and forth. I want to say at one point the announcer was like, there were 12 ties in the game, and you know, because it was just that type of game. Like, it was going back and forth. And Jared Rhoden for Seton Hall showed that he's a big time player. And, you know, he came through in the clutch a lot. And, you know, I think one thing Seton Hall did was they dominated the interior. They won the battle on the glass. And, you know what I'm saying, they made a lot of interior layups. That's how you win when you can't shoot the three ball effectively. You win inside. And not only do they win inside as in a post, but they also won in the mid range. So that is what's going to lead you to win a game. You know what I'm saying? But for Texas, you know, they're a team that they played one really good team all season, and I mean before this game in Gonzaga, and they got destroyed. And they're a team that has a new head coach in Chris Beard. They have a lot of new transfers. Devin Askew played a little bit last game, coming off the bench, and they're just trying to find a way to really fit together. Because obviously they have all these guys haven't been playing together for too long. And this is their second true test of the season, and they lost. But I think they're still gonna have a chance to be a good team down the stretch. I mean, this is a team that did win the Big 12 championship last year. They're returning some people. I would say some starters, but you know Andrew Jones comes off the bench now for whatever reason. But you know, a team like this with some good scoring guards and Jones and Marcus Carr, who he didn't play great either. I mean, both those dudes played 30 plus minutes and combined for 5 for 17 over 6 and 3. That's not gonna win you basketball games. That's just facts, 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 factuality. Wow. Also, obviously Rutgers won on, you know what I'm saying, an insane game winner, half court, Ron Harper Jr. stormed the court, you know what I'm saying. Ron Harper Jr. has been different. And, you know, watching this team evolve from 3 years ago, where they were just like a nobody team and they were just like Rutgers, like they just sucked. And then, you know, you see 2 years ago, they got a little bit better. Last year, they were a tournament team, won the game of the tournament, and were ranked. Like, they really made strides. And now this year, you know, they are struggling a lot this year. I'm not gonna act like this has been a great team this year or even a good team. You know, you lose a guy like what's bro's name? Miles Johnson. You lose a guy like Miles Johnson in the transfer portal at UCLA. Geo Baker's not there anymore. But your best player's still there, Ron Harper Jr. And he was obviously the best player on the court in Thursday's game. He had 30 points, 10 for 15 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3, 5 from the free throw line, 10 boards. 30 and 10 is insane. And, like, if you know how Ron plays, like, he's a physical big guard. He's 6'6", probably, if I had to guess, I'd say around, like, 235. And, you know, he's a physical player. And that's gonna make you want to foul him, make you want to send him to places that you think he's not going to be able to score from. And he can score from everywhere. He's a three-level scorer. He can score on the interior with his strength. He has the finesse to, create space on the perimeter and get his own shot off. And, he can shoot off the catch. So he's really a full package in terms of the offensive end. And he's a solid defender, too. He's definitely a plus defender. And, this is obviously a team that's kind of young playing together. You got Big Cliff in the middle, Cliff Amore. And you got Pat, headband highlights. Number 4. I don't know how to say his name. Paul. His name is Paul. Paul. You can go with Paul. Paul Mokai. I don't even know. But Paul, he, what I'm saying, him, Cliff, both really young guys, and you bring in 2 guys like that obviously have had massive success in New Jersey at the high school level. They're able to keep them in state, bring them to Rutgers, and see what they're going to be able to do now they're both starters, playing big time minutes and big time games. And you can see the development of them, and they're only going to get better from playing with a player like Ron Harper Jr., who's just going to be. And I don't know if he gets drafted to the NBA, but I think he'll be a great overseas pro. If he doesn't, or he'll be a great G Leaguer, because he the way he plays it impacts winning. There's a lot of guys that I hate the term, but a lot of people say empty stats when talking about the NBA. When you talk about someone like Devin Booker before they became good, Colin Sexton, they like to say it about. This guys like their stats don't matter because the team's bad, and Ron Harper isn't a dude that contributes to a bad team. He's gonna be a good player on a good team, and we saw that. Purdue is obviously a great team. They obviously are heavily reliant on the 3-ball, and they shot poorly. You know what I'm saying? They did not shoot the 3-ball well, and that obviously hurt them. That's not something that's going to help you win when you're heavily reliant on a 3 and you're missing 3s. And their best player wasn't playing well. So when your best player is 3 for 10, 9 points, or at least their best player throughout the first 7, 8 games of the season for them, through the tournaments and stuff. I don't know how to say his name, but I know he wears number 55, and he can shoot and he gets buckets. But he was 2 for 7 from 3, 3 for 10 from the field. And when you have those type of numbers, you're not really gonna win too many games when your best player is struggling like that. Their highest score was their forward Williams off the bench, 21 points, 11 boards, 9 for 17 from the field, which is solid. But you rely on your best player to do that. The spark plug from a guy like that is nice. And they did have a layup late in the game that should have won it, but Ron Harper just made a big shot because big time players make big time plays. But I think that Purdue's going to be a good team. I think they'll likely be a 1 seed going into the tournament. I think they're a team that has Final Four potential. But I think Rutgers, this is a great program win for them. I don't think that this Rutgers team right now is a team that's poised to go into the tournament. I think this is looking like an NIT type of team, a bubble team, maybe a first 4 appearance. It'll be hard for this team if they keep losing the games they're losing. But I think that's a great win for them, and it could build momentum. We'll talk about the Seton Hall Rutgers game next time. We'll talk about Alabama Houston, which was actually a really, really great game. And we'll talk about Baylor versus Villanova. And I was right on that prediction too. But yeah, we'll talk about all that next video.